Today, we're going to talk about poverty and its effects on children and society as a whole. Poverty is a crucial issue in our society. In America, 1 in 5 children are living below the poverty line. What does this mean? Well, for a family of four with 2 adults and 2 children, the annual household income must be below $23,021 to be considered poverty. Here I've included a map of the United States with state-by-state poverty levels. As you see, here in the South, we have the highest poverty levels in the country with 25 to 30% of children living in poverty. The national average is about 22%. Nearly 1/4 of our children live in poverty. In order to achieve progress, there must be upward mobility. In other words, we must have the ability to rise from lower class to higher class. As you see in this graph, since 1960, the middle 20% and lower have roughly maintained the same level of income, while the top 20% continues to rise. This is increasing the opportunity gaps in the US. On average, the poor are staying poor while the rich get richer. In the 21st century, a majority of the higher paying jobs require higher levels of education, which will further the gap unless fundamental changes occur. According to an article on CNN by John Sutter, poverty is a slow drip crisis, which means that it is slowly increasing and can be fixed over time. In order to determine what can be done about this crisis, there must be more research on the issue. The article also focuses on the importance of not blaming the poor for this problem. Poverty is a societal problem. According to an article on NPR, President Obama urges for Americans to guard against cynicism when it comes to poverty. Thinking nothing can be done and that poverty is an unwinnable battle will only contribute to the problem. This article also emphasizes the need for new rules and laws to support strong families and economy. According to President Obama, strong families and a strong economy are key to remedying the problem of poverty. Poverty has serious impacts on educational outcomes. Low test scores is one impact. Because of the high stakes attached to standardized tests, low scores are especially detrimental to schools. There are also higher absenteeism and dropout rates with increased poverty. Other educational outcomes include achievement gaps between low and high socioeconomic students, behavioral problems in the classroom, and decreased motivation. Students who live in poverty are less motivated to excel due to lowered expectations and stresses outside of the classroom. Some possible factors for these outcomes include health, environment, and unequal access to quality preschool. Poverty also greatly impacts society as a whole. Crime and increase as poverty levels increase. Health risks also increase due to unequal health care. Poor people often avoid going to the doctor due to expenses, which can lead to spreading preventable diseases. Poverty is also a financial burden on society. It's estimated that it costs America about $500 billion annually. Poor people do not have equal say in the political system, which weakens democracy. America's middle class, which is the backbone of our economy, is also weakened as a result of poverty. Poverty is a serious issue, but it is not an unwinnable battle. One suggestion for policymakers is to conduct more research on poverty and strategies to improve the issue. Without access to quality preschool, children start out behind and often struggle to catch up. All students should have equal access to quality preschool. Children who are physically and mentally unhealthy often miss school and struggle to focus and subsequently fall further behind. Providing physical and mental health services in schools will greatly benefit children in poverty. Accountability should also not be based on test scores. This widens the gap. There should also be outside support and family services for children and their families. We can no longer afford to ignore the problem and assume nothing can be done. When we do that, the cycle of poverty continues and the gap widens. Socioeconomic status does not have to determine future success. We must ensure all students have equal opportunities to break the cycle.